What it do, y'all? Prince Sports, man. Y'all know the news, okay? Everybody's talking about it. James Harden is a Brooklyn Net. Welcome to New York City, one of the five boroughs in NY. James Harden steps foot into New York, and he's teaming up with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. That's the super team. No buts, ifs about it. And the super team rules apply to that. You're gonna get, you're gonna get spanked. You're gonna get your legacy a little tarnished when you're playing with all-time great players and you win. It just happens like that. It happens to Bill Russell. It happens to anybody that stacks the deck and wins championships. We do that for LeBron James. We got to keep the same energy for Kevin Durant because you won a super team championship with the Golden State Warriors. Now you're going to win a super team championship with the Brooklyn Nets soon or later. There's no doubt about it that the Brooklyn Nets will win the championship. If they don't win this year, they're going to address all their flaws next season by getting role players on the cheap. Because whenever you form a super team, everybody wants to win the championship. So you're going to get a bunch of guys, veterans, that come cheap. They're going to come for 1 year maximum, stuff like that. You're going to probably have a Dwight Howard style player go to the Brooklyn Nets because a lot of teams are going to be like, you know what, we don't want him. He's on his last. We think he's on his last leg, or whatever the case may be, and he's going to join the Brooklyn Nets for dirt cheap. Okay, that's what's going to happen. The Brooklyn Nets will win a championship. It's not a question of how. It's a question of when. Okay, that's what it comes down to. And I heard a lot of people. Some people are already sitting there saying this has something to do with LeBron. No, James Harden said he wanted to go to Philly or Brooklyn. If James Harden said he wanted to go to the Lakers, guess what? Hey, what's up, Michael? Guess what? If James Harden said, hey, I'm going to the Lakers, LeBron would have made that happen. He would have went to the Los Angeles Lakers. But the Lakers was not on his list. The only teams he wanted to go to was the Brooklyn Nets or Philly 76ers, and that was the teams that he was going to be loyal to. No, it's kill. It's a wrap. You know, the trade is already a wrap. No. I said a 3-team. I made a mistake. It's a 4-team trade. The Cleveland Cavaliers is in it. The Houston Rockets get Victor Oladipo and a bunch of draft picks out the wazoo. They get a bunch of draft picks. So they're going to be a team rebuilding for years. And they're going to have a lot of good first-round draft picks. Chris LeVert goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a lot of teams, a lot of players involved in this trade, but everybody gets something. You know, they get Victor Oladipo. He was a borderline all-star. So you're a Cavs fan? Oh well. I mean, you get Chris LeVert. He's a good player. He's a solid player. He's going to put up good numbers on your team. You know, he was a good player for the Brooklyn Nets. He helped them get to the playoffs without KD and Kyrie Irving. You know, but let me go back to what I was saying. This has nothing to do with LeBron James, okay? This is the super team era we live in. We all know super teams was going to come. This is why I told you guys, don't automatically assume that the Lakers was going to win 3-peat championships. It's not going to happen when guys go from team to team and they have short-term contracts. This is a different NBA. You know? Nah, Octavius, they didn't do that to beat LeBron. That's just biased fanboy talk, you know? It's not at all. James Harden was available he wanted to leave the Houston Rockets. He wanted to go to the 76ers or the Nets. Don't get mad because he didn't put the Lakers on that list. You know, what happens if the Lakers go out and trade Kyle Kuzma for Miles Turner, or they go out and get even a better piece, okay? I'm pretty sure the Lakers, I got something in their hand. They're going to build a super team sooner or later, too. So you guys will have a different energy if James Harden was on the Lakers, Octavius. If that was James Harden, Anthony Davis, and LeBron James on the Lakers, you'd be saying something completely different. But James Harden does not want to play for LeBron, okay? But I'm pretty sure somebody else does to form a super team. Probably so, man. But at the same time, we got to keep that same energy, all right? These players have short-term contracts. They want to go from team to team. It's simple as that. They want to form super teams. You know, all these guys want to team up together and win together. This is going to make a lot of other people do the same thing. You know, Golden State Warriors will form a super team sooner or later. You know, it's only a matter of time before they do it. They got Clay, they got Steph. They're missing one more piece that they could go out and get, but they got good tradable assets. So everybody's in the mix or in the hunt for a super team. But you got to keep that same energy. You know what I mean? Got to keep that same energy. Lakers should trade for Bradley Beal. They may, but you know what? They may just stay pat. You know, they still have to learn. The Brooklyn Nets still have to learn how to play together. It's still only one basketball. But when you got that much talent on one team, you're suspected to win. There's no excuses. So you can't be in your feelings because, you know, James Harden forming a super team. I don't like it. I don't like super teams, you know. But we was just talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Lakers were trying to land him. So what would that be if the Lakers got Giannis Antetokounmpo? And Giannis could still demand a trade. If Giannis do the same thing James Harden does, stars have all the power. All he has to do is say, I don't want to play for the Milwaukee no more. I changed my mind. Then guess what? Giannis is on the trade block. Giannis could go to Golden State or the Lakers. So everybody get fair treatment, you know. Nevertheless, they're gonna win the championship. I just don't know when. They're gonna get key role players, guys on the cheap, you know, probably like veteran players because they can't afford nobody else. Those 3 guys would take up most of the salary cap, but nevertheless, they're gonna have to learn how to play together. Kevin Durant knows how to play off the ball. He's one of the superstars that know how to play off the ball. That's allowing James Harden and Kyrie Irving to be ball dominant. It's as much as crybabies as they are. James Harden is one talented basketball player. So is Kyrie Irving. And Kyrie Irving is a fool. You know, off the court, he's a fool. But you can't look at that roster and say they won't win the championship. Bro, I doubt LeBron James even win 2 more championships. He may get 1 more and that's it. If he's lucky to get a championship this season. You know, that three-peat stuff, you guys got to stop jumping to conclusions. James Harden is not going, LeBron James is not going to three-peat in this day and age of the NBA. There's too much super teams being made. Next season, you don't know who's going to be on the super team. Every season, we dealing with super teams. Now you got one in Brooklyn. All right? I'm pretty sure another one is going to come. You know? And LeBron may miss out on some of these super teams. But he don't mind because he won championships with super teams already anyway. So it's not like he's blinded to this. Kevin Durant and LeBron James are in the same category when it comes to winning championships. They both won titles on super teams. So we got to keep that same energy. Now, Kevin Durant is doing it for a second time. LeBron's playing with a top 5 player in Anthony Davis. You know, and he may get another superstar. You don't like LeBron like that? I know you're not a LeBron fanboy, but a lot of these people think that everything that takes place in the NBA is about LeBron James. It's not. If James Harden is available, okay? If James Harden is available, any team would take that. You'd be a fool not to take that, you know? The Clippers may form a super team. You know, what if the Clippers land another all-star? They may do a big trade, you know, sooner or later, after this season. Do you need a super team to win the championship? No. I'd rather have a better all-around team than a super team. You know? As much as I hate to say it, Zach, it is. Okay, Brooklyn in the house. And they play my Knicks today. I was going to do probably a live for that because they play the Knicks. But I'm going to wait till James Harden and Kyrie Irving get their act together and they come back. They come back to play basketball. James Harden got to lose some weight, but he should be happy now because he's more motivated. He never wanted to play for the Houston Rockets. He's been trying to force his way out for quite some time now. Exactly. Golden State Warriors is one all-star away from competing for a championship. When Clay comes back, and if they land a guy like Giannis, let's say Giannis wants to make a trade, the Golden State Warriors with Giannis Antetokounmpo, example, with Clay and Steph, you don't think that's a super team, man? And you guys sitting here, you guys sitting here saying that LeBron is going to three-peat way too early. You know, three-peat, try winning a championship this season first before you could try three-peating, because teams are going to get better and better. Guys always constantly trade. No, I don't, Mike. I watch Prince Sports. I follow the news, then I go on live. I don't follow YouTubers. I'm too busy doing my own thing. Yeah, now you could get him back a little bit, Zach, because he always making fun of your Houston Rockets. But you guys did good. You did good, okay? Your Houston Rockets did good. You got good future draft picks. You got a good player in Victor Oladipo. You're planning for the future. I said this before anybody, that the Houston Rockets was in rebuild phase. You are in rebuild phase, but you still can make the playoffs with the roster that you got, and you still could get a first-round draft pick for multiple years. You guys are in good hands. You can make the playoffs and still get a first-round draft pick. You did good. You know what I'm saying? You did good. You got a disgruntled employee out of there. You can't keep an employee out of, on your team that don't want to play. If he throwing his teammates under the bus, this was the final draw. This was it. James Harden, he had to do something to force his way out. And stars got all the power. But I tell you this, if LeBron could beat the Brooklyn Nets, if LeBron could beat all these future super teams forming, he would get a lot of credit with me. He would get a lot of credit with me. Because you know what? In this day and age where guys form a lot of super teams, if you're able to knock them down and beat them, I consider that a real hard path, a real challenge to do. But here's the drawback to that. LeBron, you need to not form a super team. If you could beat those super teams without forming a super team, that's more impressive. But if you go out there and get a Giannis or some of these other cats, it's not going to be that impressive either, because you have a super team too. Yes, you can, but I would take the picks. Develop your players. Form your own super team like the Golden State Warriors did. Just take your time. Easy. Kevin Garnett. It's not even a challenge. Kevin Garnett's one of the greatest power forwards of all time. And he did more with less compared to Bosh. James Harden wrapped it up. He is a Brooklyn Net. So they got a super team. As much as I hate super teams, they're going to be one tough force to beat. Kevin Durant can operate without the ball. Okay? He can operate without the ball. Kevin Durant can operate without the ball, not leaving Kyrie Irving, the headache that he is, and James Harden. These two guys are headaches. Okay? Off the court, they're going to drive a franchise crazy. James Harden likes to be pampered. He's a baby. And Kyrie Irving wants to get whatever he wants to get. So the Brooklyn Nets have a lot of work to do. But if you could get all those guys on the court, get their act together, they could win a championship. The Rockets trade James Harden to the Nets because they have no other choice. It either was going to be the Brooklyn Nets or the Philadelphia 76ers. James Harden had all the leverage because no other teams was going to take James Harden unless he make a long-term commitment to them. And he wasn't going to make no commitment to no other team other than the Brooklyn Nets or the Philadelphia 76ers. He didn't want to play with the Lakers. He didn't want to play with the Clippers. He wanted to go to the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, and I'm getting news feed right now. The trade is finalized. It's over. 4-team trade. Cleveland Cavaliers, Indiana Pacers, Brooklyn Nets, and Houston Rockets. Even if James Harden comes up short by playoff standards, you still got Kyrie and Kevin Durant to bail him out. Now all they have to do is go out and get guys for the cheap, and guys will come. Oh, you got 3 All-Stars? You got a super team on the Brooklyn Nets? I'm on my last leg. I want to win the championship, man. I'm going to Brooklyn Nets. I'm signing a 1-year deal. I'm going to do what Dwight Howard did. You know, there's a lot of guys on the fly for cheap that you could get. Now the Lakers are put in the jam. Now the Lakers got to go out and trade Kyle Kuzma. So maybe Miles Turner will pop up for the Lakers after all. You know, if you're the Lakers, do what you did last year to win the championship. Get some bigs. Pound the ball into the post. Get some bigs that could protect the rim. Because if you can't get nobody that could protect the rim against KD, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving, you're in trouble. You are in trouble. Okay? LeBron's going to have his hands full guarding Kevin Durant. Don't tell me LeBron James is going to shut down Kevin Durant. None of that. Kevin Durant could shoot right over LeBron James. We already seen Kevin Durant get buckets on LeBron. He could do it in great fashion, okay? He could score on LeBron James easily, okay? It's more easier for him to score on LeBron than LeBron to score on him. Let's just put it that way, all right? And that leaves Anthony Davis to try to go out into the perimeter to try to stop Kyrie Irving and James Harden. You know? What up, Mike? We talking about this big news that took place. The NBA is on standstill right now. The NBA is on alert. This is what happens when super teams get formed. MVP, multiple time scoring champ, James Harden joins the Brooklyn Nets. This is a big move. All right. So as usual, a lot of LeBron fanboys are shaking right now because they know that this is going to be a crazy team to deal with. Okay? We don't have to be fake about it. Let's just keep it 100. This is going to be a hard team to beat. Anytime you get three superstars, it's going to be a problem. You know? It's going to be a problem. You form a super team, it's always going to be a problem to beat a super team. Nobody else has a super team in the NBA right now than the Brooklyn Nets. So the Brooklyn Nets right now has an edge over everybody as super teams go by. All right. And according to this trade, I don't see Spencer Dinwiddie's name in this trade. So Spencer Dinwiddie is still a Brooklyn Net. Lord have mercy. All right. All they got to do is go out and get some veterans that playoff poise. They're going to be a problem. You know? You could go out and get a Rajon Rondo. He ain't going to be with Atlanta Hawks too long. You know? He may leave the Atlanta Hawks, and you could pick him up on the fly for cheap. And playoff Rondo is for real. You seen what he did for the Lakers last season. Zach, you coming over to my city now? Coming to New York? I'm from New York, and I'm not even a Brooklyn Nets fan. But that's still in my state. It's still in the city of New York City. So New York, we gotta stand up, man. New York may get a championship, but it won't be a orange and blue championship. It's gonna be a Brooklyn Net championship. Rockets won this trade for the future, yes. You know, I don't know, Zach. I mean, you should be at like in the middle of I don't know what's going on because you're a Rockets fan and a James Harden fan. Now your world is mixing together. You know, you don't know what side to go on. Look at Tay still keeping it up. What up, Raw? We talking about James Harden coming to the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, this is a big deal. Let's not act like it's not. Okay, this is a MVP candidate in just about every category. You know what I'm saying? So you guys better be put on still. Craig Brown, what it do? Finally, you come in. What's your thoughts on this trade? I'm gonna put the link in. I'm going to put the link in for anybody to come up in here. All right. So the lines is open. Anybody could come up in here and tell me what you think about this big trade that's going down. You know, the Houston Rockets, they got Victor Oladipo. He was a borderline all-star. You know, he's just trying to get back into basketball shape. He's still bugging. You know what I'm saying? So It's just a question of, you know, what's going to happen. See, here's the thing, Tay. If James Harden chokes, he still got Kyrie and Kevin Durant to back him up. All right, so I doubt all three of those guys would choke. Somebody's going to come through it, and you gotta hold Kevin Durant to the highest degree when it comes to basketball. You know, yeah, their defense got worse, but that could always be made up for. Oh, Mike. Oh, Kings Entertainment LLC. Mike, be honest with you, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Still didn't get a chance to go and look at it yet. I'm gonna do it after this stream. I promise. You know, I get so busy sometimes, man. You know, I'm running errands. I'm going all over the place. You know, sometimes I just lose track of time. But I will look at it and listen to it as soon as I could. You could put your link in the description box. And sometimes I just lose track. What up, Craig Brown? What do you think about this?
Man, the Nets gonna win the championship, man. We just gonna be 100 about this shit right here, kid.
Oh shit!
they gonna win, man.
I thought you was gonna say. Something completely different. No,
nah, man, I'm realistic. Hey, look, I'm gonna be real with you. Yeah. Ron, my boy, you know me and you. We've been having our little wars in the comments, but look, I'm a basketball fan first. Look, man, you got three of the best offensive players on one damn team. With Mike D'Antoni still he the assistant coach.
Yes, yo, and Craig, you forget this part. They still got Dinwiddie.
Man, listen, man, shit.
Isn't that a trip, man? You know what? Here's my thing. I don't think the Lakers going to respond to this. I think Kyle Kuzma is going to be on the trading block in the morning. So they had a report.
Me too.
Being traded for Miles Turner. So they may go the big route and say, you know what? They got perimeter players, but we could get rim protection and pound them in the post.
I agree with you 100%. I ain't even gonna lie. I'd rather them, because I said to myself, like, why would the Lakers give up Dwight Howard? Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah.
I don't feel like they should never lost him. But I'll take Miles Turner. He's a great shot blocker and everything. So, you know, but look, man, I gotta attend the kids. I'm gonna cut it short. I appreciate you. You're a real one. I'm gonna still go back and forth. Still hit about, but I'm gonna save it for another day. But look, man, the Nets win the championship.
That one for another day, man. Because we up on this news right now, man.
you already, but look, I'm gonna tune into the show, man. Keep doing your thing, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you, bro.
All right.
Yo, Mecca, what you got to say about this? What's your opinion on this?
Man, look, them three won't work with Kyrie.
You don't think it won't work?
Too much. It's too much 1v1. Too much 1v1 basketball. Kyrie first of all, he a basket case, right? It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse.
Here's the thing, though, man. Whenever you put a super team together, they usually find a way to win regardless by default, because it's just too much talent on one team. You know.
But this is 1v1 basketball. That don't work at the championship level. See, now if they only had the two to worry about, KD and the Bearden, then it would be more acclimatable, because then they wouldn't have to spread the ball around the three different people that, you know.
Yeah.
And then you can't, and then Kyrie, he's gonna have a hissy.
I mean, there's going to be problems presented. I give you that, you know, but I still think they got too much talent to lose. What up, Raw Status TV? What it do?
What's cracking?
What you think about Mecca over here? He say that the Brooklyn Nets are still not going to be that team to beat. What do you think?
Okay, when I first saw the trade, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, I'm Lakers this season. Right. LeBron guy, Lakers guy. Shout out to the Knicks. Basketball fan, I've kind of grown and evolved. So I'm looking at it like when I saw this trade, I said they may be the favorites.
Right.
But then I'm looking at the way the Lakers are playing defense as of late.
In the East.
And I got to agree with you, man. I think the Lakers make a move.
They have to.
Because this turned into an arms race,
It's just, can you top this type of stuff going on now? Because as the years go by, this is not going to be the only super team, right? Clippers could do one. Golden State could do one. I mean, all it takes is for a player to demand a trade. They got so much power over the league now. All they have to do is, imagine if Giannis gets upset and say, you know what, I want to be traded. They're going to have to trade him.
Should have did that. He shouldn't have resigned.
Oh, he took it because he got that money. But he knows he can demand a trade at any given time. If he sees that, hey, they're not going in the direction that we're going, some team just going to have to take on my contract, but I'm still leaving. He could force the hand on Milwaukee Bucks if he wanted to, because that's what superstars do. KD did it. James Harden did it. Anthony Davis did it. So you just see a lot of examples of it. If you got that much power, you're a superstar, you could force your way out a franchise. So I don't see this being the end. I think there'll be more. And I just got a report here that says Philly wouldn't pull the trigger because they didn't want to get rid of Ben Simmons. So that was the only thing standing in the way between that trade. So it came down to those two teams. The Brooklyn Nets I think they somewhat finessed Houston Rockets a little bit because they didn't give up as much play as I thought they would be getting. They're losing Chris LeVert, but they still got Spencer Dinwiddie. But what do you think, bro? Do you
Jared Allen gone.
What happened?
That's still a lot though. What they lost, Vertical and Jared Allen.
Yeah, they did.
That was two main pieces of their playoff team from last year.
Yeah. See, but here's the thing. I think role players could be replaced. There's always going to be veterans looking to come to this team. So I think they're going to get the job done sooner or later. I don't know if it's going to be this season or next season, but I think they're going to win the chip. But that's just my personal opinion. What do you think about that, Raw and Mac?
First of all, I think the loss of Jared Allen, I started to question that. I was thinking who's going to replace Allen. That gives, I think in like playoff moments, Kevin Durant, is a capable rim protector.
Right.
But is he going to be able to bang and do his offensive thing? And, we're going to see. I think they're going to need some more depth there. But honestly, I think the Lakers right now, I think they still have enough to beat the Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn just got a lot tougher offensively. Right. You have to outscore them. I think I'm hearing names like Dwayne Dedman for the Lakers. I believe they add one more rim protector with the emergence of THT. Dennis Schroeder has looked pretty damn good, and Montrezl Harrell looks like he's starting to get in shape. He's starting to look a little quicker, a little more spry. So I think the Lakers are still there, but I'm interested in seeing what Brooklyn does about their front court now.
Yeah, they got to do something, but I think they'll be able to pick up some role player that's on a 1-year contract that's looking for a championship. I don't know who that player is, but I think it'd be somebody.
I think what the buyout market, real quick, I think the buyout market starts around the second week in February or something like that, or something. I might be off on that. The buyout, I know if free agency, the midseason free agency, and then the buyout market. So it'll be interesting to see who comes available.
Yeah. Hey man, but you really think this season the Lakers still going to win the championship, even with this going down?
Yeah, because I believe in crunch time, 5-on-5.
Right.
I'm going to bet on LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Yeah. Marcus Gasol, and
Yeah. And I back that up by saying James Harden has shown me no proof that he can defeat a LeBron James squad. Now he has two of probably the number 2 and 3 best players in the league.
Right.
Behind James and AD, if you ask me. That's my opinion. But so it's going to be interesting. But I believe the defense of the Lakers and the defensive schemes of Frank Vogel have shown to be disruptive. But they need. I want to see them get another rim protector. So I'm kind of reserving my opinion until after this next wave of free agency.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this trade deadline. I think it don't end yet. Pretty soon. It ends in a couple. Or
trade deadline. Excuse me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to land something, and I'm pretty sure Kyle Kuzma's going because he's in trade talks for Miles Turner. I don't know if any of you guys heard of that. because the Lakers want rim protection, which makes sense.
Okay.
It makes some sense, because
can
they got
spread
enough
the floor
perimeter.
a little bit too.
Yeah, they got enough good rim protectors. I mean, perimeter players. Sorry, but if they get Miles Turner, that's a good pickup. He's solid. He scored 23 last night. Be it again, it was against the Warriors, but nevertheless, he still showed you that he could probably play into a good system, team basketball with the Lakers. But I think this overly puts the Brooklyn Nets on the top because they got to win. They're gonna feel the pressure to win. They got 3 All-Stars, 3 elite All-Stars. They got to win. There's no excuses for this. So
they got better offensively, but they lost their rim protection.
Both of you guys are 100% right that they took a step back defensively because we all know James Harden, he's not one for defense. Kyrie Irving never was a great defensive player. They got a lot of stuff to work out. I mean, Kyrie Irving's a head case. James Harden's he's a big baby. He likes being pampered, but he's going back to D'Antoni, I guess. So he likes that too because he could get what he wants. But
Kyrie,
man, this is going to be a potent offense. This is going to be something to see. They could put up probably like 140 in a game. I'm going to reserve my true opinion on them until I get to see them play.
They could trade Kyrie for a big, easy. Hopefully,
they could. And I'm glad you brought that up, Mecca, because they had reports going on about Kyrie that they looking to terminate his contract. I don't know if this is just to strike fear in him.
Yeah, I heard that shit.
But
I didn't hear that yet. Okay,
but just to say that means that the organization is not happy with you because this dude is literally taking games off for free. So, that's a no-no. So,
yeah, he's starting to look like remind me of Ricky Williams. New Orleans Saints.
He just wanted to go party with his mom. With his sister and his pops on their birthday.
Yeah.
Right.
But then
I don't got a problem with that person.
Did you heard about this?
Me neither. But it's like, so you're gonna not say nothing? Like, come on.
Yeah.
Right.
He's recently on the Zoom talking to I guess some celebrities or people in politics.
Just chilling on it.
Smith was like, if you want to get in politics that bad, just quit basketball. Don't even play. So I don't know where Kyrie's head is at because he's a very questionable dude, man. He be on some spaced out shit, man. I don't really know what he be thinking most of the time.
It's when the media put the flames on him, he go to saying some dumb shit to get the flames up off him, but it fans the flames he go to screaming at the media
Word, man. So I don't know what's wrong with that. But guess what? He can't come back to the team now anyway because it's up to the NBA. He violated.
Oh wow.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then if
Kyrie Irving.
For the protocol.
Don't let them go ham with Beard over there.
Yeah. So
right.
He's gonna have to be out for a couple of weeks, probably like 3 weeks or so, because he's gonna have to get evaluated again with the coronavirus protocol. Because
I think the Nets themselves said they don't expect him back anytime soon, right?
Yeah. And that's nuts. This is the same dude that missed 20 games last season and was trying to
only played 20 games.
Yeah, he played 20 games. I'm sorry. And he was trying to dictate what goes on in the bubble. But
right. And didn't play in the bubble. Said he wasn't gonna play in the bubble and could have played in the bubble if he really wanted to.
So I mean, he all over the place, man. But I mean, you guys still got. I take you guys are both Laker fans. You still got threats from like the Clippers and stuff. Do you guys see the Clippers being still a threat to you in the West? Because you got depleted with the Houston Rockets. Not that there was really a big problem anyway, because you beat them last season. But how do you see the Clippers coming into this picture, or giving the Lakers a challenge? Do you still see the Clippers losing to the Lakers?
Okay, I think the Clippers are a formidable opponent, but I think the Lakers are deeper, and I think the Lakers have better scoring. Although the Clippers are off to a hot start, they showed glimpses and they showed us clips of where their deficiencies are. I think some of the players are kind of overachieving, but I think their early season start is due to the new coaching staff there. I think Ty Lue is a good coach, but I think people are underestimating the molding, I should say, the instruction that LeBron and his imprint that he's putting on the Lakers. Right. And I just again I think LeBron and AD are just going to be too much. They still don't have an answer for AD. They brought in Ibaka, but he's not going to be stopping anybody defensively. Nobody's talking about this new turnaround mid-range jumper. It's not new, but he's been utilizing that a lot more. Kind of like when Jordan started getting up there in age.
That's what all the greats do. That when they get a certain age, they can't.
Yeah, exactly.
When that athleticism drop.
Exactly. Yeah. So
you need a go-to move to rely on. I think that's his go-to move.
Yeah, you got to go. Yeah, that's common. And so anyway, so I got the Lakers in 6 in the 7-game series still. I think the depth and the experience. And again, I think they might add another player too. So
I think Kyle Kuzma is going to be traded, but this
maybe
definitely
throwing Quinn Cook
at a Lakers Nets finals. Now, I don't know if you guys still don't see the Nets going, but I think the Nets got to go to the finals now. There's really no excuses for them. They got to at least make the finals.
Yeah, they got. Yeah, it's. I mean,
So
I mean, but hey, they are supposed to go. We got to we'll say that.
All right, no doubt. And also, man, we're gonna do the live Lakers game versus OKC. That's later today. I'm gonna go on live for that one. And I just want getting the word out there for you guys.
All right, bet.
I was gonna do the Knicks and the Nets because I'm from New York. I wanted to do a New York thing, but I'll wait for that. I'll wait till everybody's back playing. So I do the Lakers today. So
yeah, you know what? I'm glad. I was hearing rumors about Julius Randle and maybe Barrett for Harden. I'm glad the Knicks didn't. I mean, if that was probably just a rumor, but I like the way the Knicks. I like their young guys, man. I think they're going to grow. If people can forget about the Madison Square Garden dictator and James Dolan and Charles Oakley and all that has to do with if they can get past that. And don't forget, players do hold grudges. So I still think the Knicks will have problems bringing in free agencies as the Chicago Bulls do still to this day, or the treatment over Jordan and Pippen. But the Knicks are real interesting, man. So I'm gonna tune into that one tonight, man. So
no doubt, man. Shout out to my Knicks, man. I kept saying this a million times. I just want to see the Knicks win something in my lifetime. So hopefully they can make the playoffs.
No, look, man, I was there when Patrick Ewing missed that layup back in the day against Indiana, man. I know you remember that.
I remember that.
All that type of stuff, man. And Mario Ellie, and I want to pull the scab off the wound, man. But
yeah, man, don't start making me cry in here, man.
No doubt. All right, fellas, I'm gonna roll out of here. Appreciate it.
All right, man. No question. Thanks for joining, man.
Yep.
All right, Mecca. Same to you, man. Thanks for giving me your input.
All right, G.
Yeah, no question, man. Thanks for joining, man. I appreciate you.
Already.
All right. All right, guys. That was Mecca, Craig Brown, and Raw Status TV. They came through the joint live to say what they want, their opinions on this Brooklyn Nets game. I mean, Brooklyn Nets, this James Harden going to the Brooklyn Nets. If anybody else want to come in, the link is in the chat. You could tell me what you think and, what you got to say about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking in all callers, everybody who just want to come in, talk your shit, say whatever you got to say. Zach is already rooting for the Brooklyn Nets. Look like you're a big Brooklyn Nets fan now all of a sudden. So the Raptor says LeBron is going to be 4-7. I mean, look, they got to get a championship. There's no doubt in my mind that James Harden is going to get a championship with this team. If they stay together, soon or later, they're going to win a chip. It's just a question of when. This is a super team. Super teams got to win one, All right, what's up, Craig Brown? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, just gentlemen, because we got no ladies in here. But Craig Brown and me always go at it in the comment section. I was glad that he came in here and talk his stuff, man. At the end of the day, it's just sports talk. I really don't take nothing personal. I just appreciate you guys coming in, talking about some sports. I got nothing against nobody in here. It's just all sport talk. We could agree to disagree on some things. You don't have to be in your feelings. We're going to disagree on stuff. No matter what you do or where you go, there's always going to be people that you disagree with. You could be talking to your brother, your sister, your best friend. You're always going to have stuff that you disagree with. But at the end of the day, it's just a disagreement. That doesn't mean, it's on some beef stuff, But he came in and he said, he ain't going to even lie. He said, Brooklyn Nets winning the championship, It's kind of hard to pick against all that talent. Roy and Mecca did make some good points about the defense going down, but I still think that could be corrected. I think there's no buts, ifs about it that they could get that fixed. There's always going to be guys willing to come play for them, You don't know what Dwight Howard is a journeyman, right? So pretty sooner or later, somebody going to let him go. He may go to the Brooklyn Nets. Rajon Rondo is a journeyman in his career, but he'll be a good backup point guard for the Brooklyn Nets in the playoffs, And this actually reminds me of the Philippines. My wife's father said, Prince, James Harden is going to go to the Brooklyn Nets. He said that, off the rip. And you know what? He was right. Nevertheless, he was right. So, this is a big dang, man, big super team. I know they probably heard about the news over there in the Philippines. They probably gonna, my sister's brothers probably want a James Harden jersey or something like that, because they were talking about this prior to me even coming back to the U.S. So this is a big dang. It's a super team, and it's what some fans hate, but it's also what drives the NBA for business, because people are going to tune in now, even more. You think so, man? You never know. He still got to go out there and prove it. But even if he comes up short and you say he don't prove it, he got two other guys to back him up. This is probably the most stacked team that James Harden has ever played on. Is it? Actually, no. For James Harden, no. He did play with Westbrook and Kevin Durant. So he knows how to play on stacked teams. Yeah, that's what he wants. He wants his reunion with D'Antoni. He got it. But man, this is crazy, man. But we're gonna Al Horford is out for the Lakers game against the Lakers today. But I'm still gonna go on live for that, man. Yeah, man. I'm gonna put the link in there one more time in case anybody wants to come in. Give me a different opinion on what you think. Maybe Blue Bolt could come up in here or something, because I know he has a lot to say about this, But I'm pretty sure a lot of LeBron fanboys are gonna, like, the extreme LeBron fanboys are gonna hate on this, But hey, LeBron won championships with big threes, so this is gonna be none other than the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna head up out of here, man. So if nobody else got something else to say, we're gonna head up out of here. I'm gonna come back live for the Lakers game. I just wanted to get this out the way to see what you guys were thinking, man, because this shit is big. This is a big trade for the NBA. This is something big, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna see more super teams form. More shit's gonna happen. Russ said Brooklyn made a screwed move. Hey, man, that was the only team James Harden was willing to go with for long term. So they took the superstar. A lot of guys would not turn that down. If James Harden said he wanted to go to the Lakers, and all you had to do was give up Kyle Kuzma and a couple other pieces, I'm pretty sure the Lakers would have did it. LeBron would take James Harden right now on any given day. Now, James Harden does have to get into shape, because he spent half the whole season trying to force his way out of Houston, not caring. Because I saw some stuff from James Harden on the court. Like, guy was out of shape. He was giving the ball up. But I think that could be corrected and fixed. Man, Zach, you're a Brooklyn Net fan now? Don't tell me you're a Brooklyn Net fan, bro. I thought you said Houston Rockets no matter what. Now you're jumping on that bandwagon? That's crazy, man. But I'm headed up out of here, man. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Appreciate all you guys, man. just wanted to get y'all 2 cents on what was going on in basketball, man. So, you know, this reminds me before I head up out of here. This goes to the old saying, all is fair in love and war. So that statement applies to the NBA, because if you form a super team, I form a super team, and vice versa. So it's now, can you top this? We see what everybody else's response to it with this, because they know the Brooklyn Nets is putting everybody on alert that, hey, we coming for a championship. What you gonna do about it? So with that being said, salute, and you guys have a good one. I catch you for the Laker game at 5, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna talk about this. I'm out. Peace.